Dr. Bakili Muluzi graduated from Thisted College of Technical Education, Denmark, and Huddersfield College of Education in the United Kingdom. He became principal of Nassau Technical Training College. He was elected to Parliament in 1973 and served in several cabinet ministerial positions of youth and sports, education, transport, and communications. Minister in the President's Office and Secretary General of the Malawi Congress Party. Whilst serving as a Member of Parliament, he also served as Secretary of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, CPA, Malawi branch. Dr. Muluzi was the first democratically elected President of the Republic of Malawi and served between 1994 to 2004. Dr. Muluzi served as chairperson of the Southern African Development Community, SADC. He also served as chairperson of the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa. Whilst serving in these positions, he got involved in peacekeeping missions in Democratic Republic of Congo, Angola, Burundi, Zimbabwe, Sudan, and Uganda. Bakili Elson Muluzi was the President of Malawi from 1994 to 2004 and was chairman of the United Democratic Front UDF until 2009. He succeeded Hastings Kamuzu Banda as Malawi's president. He also served in Banda's cabinet as minister without portfolio, before retiring in 1980. Muluzi, a politician as well as a businessman, was born on March 17, 1943 in predominantly Yao district of Makinga. Muluzi was the candidate of the opposition UDF in the May 1994 presidential election, the country's first multi-party election. He won the election with 47% of the vote, defeating Malawi's leader since independence, Dr. Hastings Kamuzu Banda. He was re-elected in June 1999, taking 52.4% of the vote and defeating challenger Gwanda Chakuamba, who was the leader of the opposition movement, Mgwirizano Coalition. After serving 2 terms, he handed over power to his successor after the May 2004 election, in which UDF candidate Bingu Mutharika was elected to succeed Muluzi as president. Muluzi came to lead the UDF after leaving the Banda government, and he became an advocate for democracy. Muluzi was a popular leader. He remains the chairman of the UDF, and after a dispute with his successor as president, Mutharika, the latter left the UDF and formed his own party, the Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, in February 2005. In April 2005, Muluzi apologized to Malawians for choosing Mutharika as his successor and imposing him on the country. As a former Commonwealth leader, Muluzi was invited by the Commonwealth Secretary-General to chair the Commonwealth Observer Group, which observed the 2012 general election in Lesotho. 2009 presidential candidacy, in early March 2007, with many prominent members of the UDF calling for Muluzi to run for president in 2009, the party said that he would have until March 11 to declare whether he intended to run. Accordingly, on that date Muluzi announced that he would seek the party's nomination as its presidential candidate. The question of whether Muluzi is eligible to run again has raised some controversy. Because the constitution refers to a limit of 2 consecutive terms, this could be regarded as enabling Muluzi to run again after being out of office for a term. Personal life: Muluzi is Malawi's first Muslim president. He was married to 2 wives, Annie Chidziro Muluzi and Patricia Chanel Muluzi, while in office. Education: he attended primary and secondary studies in his country and then moved to Europe, where he graduated in technical education at Thirst Technical College, Denmark. Then he got a similar degree at the British University of Huddersfield. Back to his country, he was appointed rector of the Technical University of Nassau and in 1973 began his political activity to be elected deputy of the Malawi Congress Party, MCP, the only authorized in the country and led by the President for life, Kamuzu Banda. Later he was appointed Secretary General of the MCP and Vice Minister of Youth and Sports, to then access the ownership of the portfolio of Education, Transport, and Communications, as well as Minister without portfolio. How did he form his political party, UDF? In 1992, and coinciding with allegations of violation of human rights against the Banda regime and the campaign of domestic pressures, backed up internationally, to abolish the one-party system and the establishment of a democracy, Muluzi founded the United Democratic Front UDF. This party became one of the main lobbyists to its legalization after the referendum in June 1993 for the establishment of a multi-party system. Once abolished the figure of the president for life and agreed upon the call for pluralistic presidential and legislative elections at the end of 1993, these took place on May 17, 1994 and gave him a wide victory to Muluzi and the UDF. After agreed on May 20, 1994 the formation of a coalition government between the UDF and the Alliance for Democracy, AD, trade union leader and candidate in the presidential elections Chakuamba, a day later was sworn as president of Malawi, where happened to band. No more taking of possession, issued a general amnesty for all political prisoners and commuted to life imprisonment the death sentences of common prisoners. In addition, it ordered the closure of 3 centers of detention of political prisoners. Among his priorities, combating extreme poverty, regeneration of congealed political structures, fight illiteracy, introduced free education in primary schools, and create a wide network of health care. For this purpose he proposed the implementation of an economic program of shock that will follow the recommendations of austerity made by the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank, WB. Africa Heritage Society, AHS, based in South Africa saluted champions of freedom at a special gala and awards ceremony in Johannesburg. The event under the AHS's Salute Freedom Award program was themed Africa Heritage Champions of Freedom, Justice, Democracy, and Equality Appreciation Day. Honorable guests at the awards, inaugurated in July 2009, include His Excellency, Dr. Bakili Muluzi, former President of Malawi, Mr. Andrew Mlangeni, South Africa, International Ambassador Oscar J. Webb and Reverend Motlalepule Chabaku. Muluzi contributed to the freedom of the people of Malawi and ushered in democracy and economical change through peaceful means. Muluzi's administration also promised to root out government corruption and reduce poverty and food shortages in the country, although this campaign met with limited success. Muluzi pursued good relations with a number of Arab countries. He also sought to play a more active role in African affairs than his predecessor Banda. Elson Bakili Muluzi was born on March 17, 1943. He is a politician from Malawi. He served as the president of Malawi from 1994 to 2004. He was also the leader of the United Democratic Front, UDF, political party until 2009. Muluzi became president after Hastings Banda, who had led Malawi since it became independent. Before becoming president, Muluzi worked in Banda's government as a minister. He also served as a minister and secretary general for the Malawi Congress Party for many years. In May 1994, Bakili Muluzi ran for president as the candidate for the opposition UDF party. This was Malawi's first election where more than one political party could run. Muluzi won the election with 47% of the votes. He defeated Hastings Kamuzu Banda, who had been Malawi's leader for 33 years. This victory ended Banda's long rule. Muluzi was re-elected in June 1999. He won with 52.4% of the votes, defeating his opponent Gwanda Chakuamba. In 2002, Muluzi suggested changing Malawi's constitution. This change would have allowed him to run for president a third time. However, many people protested against this idea. The country's lawmakers and courts also strongly opposed it. Because of this, the plan was stopped. After serving 2 terms, Muluzi handed over power to his chosen successor. This happened after the May 2004 election. In that election, Bingu Mutharika, a candidate from Muluzi's UDF party, was elected president. Challenges during presidency. Bakili Muluzi became a strong supporter of democracy after leaving the previous government. However, his time as president faced some challenges. One difficult period was when Malawi experienced a food shortage. This happened after some of the country's maize reserves were sold to other countries, just before a drought. This led to a famine across Malawi. After being president, even with the challenges, Muluzi was a well-liked leader, especially in the southern part of Malawi. He continued to be the chairman of the UDF party. Later, he had a disagreement with President Mutharika, who had been his successor. Because of this, Mutharika left the UDF in February 2005 and started his own party, the Democratic Progressive Party, DPP. In April 2005, Muluzi apologized to the people of Malawi for choosing Mutharika as his successor. On July 27, 2006, Muluzi was arrested. He faced questions about how some money meant for the country was used. He was released on bail later that day. The person leading the investigation was suspended by President Mutharika shortly after Muluzi's arrest. This meant the charges had to be dropped. Muluzi was arrested again on February 26, 2009. He faced many charges related to money and his time in office. The charges claimed he had used about $11 million of money given by other countries for his own personal use. This money came from countries like Taiwan, Morocco, and Libya. As a former leader of a Commonwealth country, Muluzi was asked to lead a group that observed the 2012 general election in Lesotho, running for president again in 2009. In early 2007, many important members of the UDF party wanted Muluzi to run for president again in 2009. On March 11, Muluzi announced that he would seek his party's nomination to be their presidential candidate. There was some debate about whether he was allowed to run again. The constitution mentioned a limit of 2 consecutive terms. This made some people think he could run again after being out of office for 1 term. On March 17, 2008, the head of the Anti-Corruption Bureau, ACB, announced that they planned to investigate Muluzi. This was about the alleged $11 million of donor money. The UDF party's Secretary General said this was political persecution. On April 24, 2008, a UDF meeting chose Muluzi as the party's presidential candidate for 2009. He received many more votes than the other candidate. However, on March 20, 2009, the Malawi Electoral Commission decided that Bakili Muluzi could not run for president for a 3rd time. Muluzi challenged this decision. But on May 16, just 3 days before the election, the Constitutional Court ruled that Muluzi could not run again. By then, Muluzi and the UDF had decided to support John Tembo, the leader of the Malawi Congress Party, MCP. On December 23, 2009, Muluzi announced that he was stepping away from active politics. He said that Friday Jumbe would replace him as the UDF leader. 2008 Arrest and legal questions. After President Mutharika formed his new party, the DPP, in 2005, many lawmakers joined it. The opposition parties, including the UDF, tried to have these lawmakers removed from their seats for changing parties. In May 2008, Mutharika said that Muluzi was trying to remove him from office. Mutharika called Muluzi a coward and accused him of plotting against the government. Muluzi denied any such plot. Soon after, 8 people connected to Muluzi were arrested in connection with the alleged plot. An arrest warrant was also issued for Muluzi, who was in the United Kingdom at the time. When police tried to search Muluzi's home, his guards did not let them in. Muluzi said he would return to Malawi despite the accusations. When Muluzi returned on May 25, 2008, he was arrested at the airport. He had planned to speak at a UDF rally, but police surrounded the stadium. Thousands of Muluzi's supporters clashed with police after his arrest. Muluzi was taken to his home in Limbe, near Blantyre, and questioned. His home was also searched. Muluzi said the documents shown to him were laughable and fake. He accused the government of trying to intimidate and silence the opposition. On May 29, Muluzi appeared in court for his bail application. He had not yet been charged. His lawyers said the arrest was illegal and demanded his release. The Director of Public Prosecutions asked the court to deny bail. He said the investigation was ongoing and that releasing Muluzi could affect it. Judge Joseph Meni Umgwe granted Muluzi bail on May 30. He said that since Muluzi had not been charged, he had to be released. The judge stated that Muluzi had the right to bail, no matter how serious the alleged offense was. In February 2009, Muluzi accused the government of trying to intimidate him. A few days later, he was charged by the Anti-Corruption Bureau with misusing aid money. He appeared in court and was released on bail. He appeared in court again on March 12, 2009, but did not enter a plea on the many charges against him. His lawyer asked for more time to study the charges. On July 10, 2014, Muluzi was appointed as a special envoy for the Commonwealth to Swaziland. This appointment was supported by the President of Malawi, Peter Mutharika. Personal life. Bakili Muluzi was Malawi's first Muslim president. He was married to Annie Chidziro Muluzi and later to Patricia Chanel Muluzi while he was in office. His children include Austin Atapili Muluzi. He is also the father-in-law of Angela Zakpa. Muluzi's first daughter, Esmatwini Muluzi, passed away on December 12, 2016. His wife Patricia Chanel Muluzi, also known as Chanel Jimbirai, passed away on June 10, 2024, in a plane crash. Annie Chidziro Muluzi passed away in 2021. Thank you for watching this video.